everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to another Sunday. There's only one more Sunday left in November, I believe. So, wow, we are getting up there. This card is called a split front card and it opens like this. So this side is actually folded down and stands really beautifully, just like so. So I made this one here in these colours here for my colour creation, which was this colour, which was Fresh Freesia. So I thought I would do a nice Christmas card like this in this style for you all. So this is how it stands. As I said, it's you can't really see it very well. You will in the photos. This side, this was actually attached here. And it was just too long, so I actually cut it off and popped this over here. This is done from the masks. I can't think of the name of them. For the life of me, I can't think of the name of them. So anyway, this is what we're going to be using. This is what we're going to be making, rather. And I'm going to be using the reindeer fun. Woohoo! We're using some Christmassy things. This Christmas tree here, which I'm going to stamp in garden green, along with this holly and the holly berries there, plus the Merry Christmas and I didn't get something out for the I need to put may all your days be full of cheer for the inside of the card, which I didn't get out. So let's do that now, and it will have to go onto the same block because of the length of it. Okay, so I've got that out ready. So let me show you what you need, because I'm actually going to be using the dies from out of this set here. From out of this set, these are dies to make the reindeer, which I'm going to make up with you, because in case you haven't seen my other video with it in, I'm going to show you how it's made together. Also, I'm using the die for the wreath and the die for the bow, which is there. So I've got all of them there just so that you could turn over so you can see what we're going to be using. And I've used them out of the strips, and as you can see, a small piece, look, you can make two out of that, two out of that, and two out of that, quite a few bows, and that's the middle out of the holly wreath. So I'm going to throw those all in the bin now because I don't need them. And we're also going to be using these, which are called real red and white peppermints, adhesive back peppermints, because I thought that because these are tiny, these ones at the top, if I can get it out of the packet, it might help if I'm not holding on to it. There we go. Are really tiny little ones. They'll look nice around our wreath once we've got it all together. So that's why I thought I would use those. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way and tell you what you need. Well, let's move all these out of the way so that we don't lose them. Alright, for our main card we need just a regular size card, which is an 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. For our front of our card, we're going for our left front of our card, we're going to need a piece that is 3 7/8 by 1 1/2. And then a piece of designer series paper, which I'm using out of the Reindeer Days paper, and this piece measures 3 5/8 by 1 1/4. For the right hand side of the card, we're going to need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and our designer series paper measures 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. Now I've got my sentiment tag, and I haven't written the size on my thing, so because it will depend on what you want to do, so I'm not writing them on that one. But this one I'm doing at 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/4 inches, and this piece is 5/8 of an inch by 3 inches for the words that I'm putting on the front. So I'm not going to put on my tutorial, we'll just say scraps for sentiment tag and decorations. Okay, and then for my insert, you're going to need another piece that measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and a piece of white to go on the top of that, and that measures 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. So let's pop them all out of the way for a moment and just work on this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our scoreboard, first up, and we're going to score our card at the 4 1/8 mark. Ugh, get out of my mouth here. 4 1/8 mark, using the small ball as we always do because we're using cardstock. Okay, so we're going to then pop the board out of the way and we're going to fold and burnish our card, making sure it's all nice and even on the sides, like so. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring in our trimmer, and we're going to trim on the left hand side. So we're going to open our card up and we're going to pop this in here, and we're going to trim on the we're going to trim on the left hand, well, on the right hand side really. So we're going to put the card in here with the front of the card. This is the front of the card here at the top, and we're going to pop this in here at 4 1/8 of an inch, and then we're going to use our cutting blade and we're going to cut down to the 4 1/8 of an inch mark on the side, so down to our score line. I can't see very well. Am I there yet? Yep, I think I'm there. Let's have a look. Yep, I'm there. So we have our card like so. Now obviously my blade needs changing again. So I'm just going to bring in my emery board and I'm going to just push all those bits off, because we don't want them on there, do we? So if you've run out of blades, or you're in the middle of something and you haven't changed it like me, you just use an emery board until you can get one. Okay, so that's our card done. So we've got our 2 strips. So we've cut that so that when we put it in the trimmer, it's at the top, 4 1/8 along and 4 1/8 of an inch in, which will mean that when we turn it around the correct way, this little piece is on the left hand side. Okay, so our card will stand on opening on the right. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to, I'm going to push that down like that. We're going to actually glue this piece down flat. So we're going to put glue onto this small section on the inside and glue it down flat, making sure that it actually does line up with the sides and the bottom of the card, because otherwise we don't want it to be wonky. That's a word and a half, isn't it? So once we've done that, we can then give that another burnish across the top, so we know that the card is going to sit nicely. Alright, so we'll pop these 2 pieces for the left hand side onto the card like so. If you're like me and you can see that there's a tiny little bit hanging over, which is not much, but it's enough that it's annoying me, because sometimes it just does that. We're going to actually glue our 2 pieces on the left hand side. So that's our piece that is 3 7/8 by 1.5 and 3 7/8 by 1 1/4. Glue those together and then glue them onto the left hand front of the card. Okay, then we're going to do we can do the front of on the other side now. So we can do the 3 7/8 and the 3 5/8 pieces. We're going to glue these together as well. And luckily, having this paper that is holly, there is no right or wrong way up, so I don't have to watch which way I put my paper on. But if you've got a paper that has directional, you need to put it so that you have it in the correct orientation. This looks like it's out a little bit still. Up this one end. I don't know what that noise is. Can you hear that buzzing? There's like a buzzing noise. There we go. It's really annoying me and I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's our card ready to go. So we can do our inside. Well, I'm going to do my inside before we do our outside. So I have a bent piece of card here and I'm going to stamp my saying on the inside. So let's move my Merry Christmas off of there and pop that onto there. That says, when it's straight, let's pop it on there again. Says, may all your days be full of cheer. Okie dokie, so let's let's leave that there for a minute. And I'm going to put my Christmas tree down in this bottom corner. And then I can pop that over there for now. I'll get off there. The holly leaves and across the top. Then put my holly leaves in the corner here. And here. Just close that up for a minute. And then my berries are going to go inside. I think they go that way up actually. I don't really think it matters, to tell you the truth. Like so. Alright, so our inside of our card is actually done. Let's glue that into the inside of our card. This is actually a very quick card. And it depends on how much decoration you want to use for that. Okay, so we're going to glue that onto the inside of our card. Like so. And except for our decorating, our card is done. So let's bring in these pieces and I'll move this one off of here and put the Merry Christmas on here. Let me bring it down here so I can see what I'm doing of. I'm going to stamp that Merry Christmas in red because I just think Merry Christmas needs to be in red. There we go. So that's that done. And we will glue this on to here. Like so. Pop that on one side for a minute and we'll bring in all our other pieces. So we have 3 pieces of our reindeer along with our wreath and our bow. So we need to start with the largest piece, which is the piece with the antlers. And we want to glue the piece with the closed in ears, because that one's open ears, closed in ears on next. Now for me, I find it easier to line up the bottom edge and then squeeze it together, bringing the ears into place. I found, to me, that was the easiest way to get it all lined up nicely. And then we're going to do the same with this piece here. So we want the open ear piece next, which is our last piece of him. And this time we are going to line it up with the ears, because there is no bottom, and just push it into place like so, so that his ears are all nicely. I've got a little bit of glue just there, like so. Okay, once he's done and he's dry, I'm going to pop him inside this wreath like so. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue across this bottom edge here. And pop him in, not the other way round, like so. Now some of that glue has actually popped out the top. Luckily this glue dries clear and non-sticky, which is what I like about it. And then I'm going to pop my little bow onto the bottom like this. Just pop a tiny bit of glue onto the bottom of the bow there, and pop it onto the wreath. Alright, so then I'm going to turn the whole lot over, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Now I've got some dimensionals here. Come on, get over there. And I'm going to use a couple of the small ones for on the wreath itself, so that it's all nice and even, because all of these are exactly the same height. They're just different sizes, so you don't need to worry about whether, you know, like sometimes when you purchase from shops and that, the smaller ones are a different height. Well, these are all exactly the same height, so which is really, really good. You don't have to worry about building them up or them having wrinkles in them when you're putting them down. Okay, so we're going to pop our reindeer onto the front of our card up here, like so. And we're going to pop some more dimensionals onto our other piece, and I'm going to use up the edges because there's no reason why you shouldn't. I always like to use up the edges because I think to myself, it's silly to waste when there's no reason not to not use them. Okay, let's lift his bow a tiny bit there. Come on, move bow, and I'm going to put it so that this is in the middle of that section. And then I'm just going to put a tiny little bit dot of glue under each edge of his bow, the tiniest drop, just so that it doesn't get held up in the air and get damaged, especially when you're popping it into an envelope or something like this. So that's sitting there like so. Let's put on our little pieces. Okay, so I'm going to put these tiny ones here onto, oops, the wreath like that. So what do you think? I think it's so cute. It's so cute. I think, well, I shouldn't say that, but I do. I think it's so cute. So that's our card for today. It's called a split front card. It sits up like so. This one I did as a birthday card, and it opens up nicely. This one's got "May all your wishes come true" inside, and some lovely flowers. This one obviously says, "May all your days be full of cheer," and yay! So that's a Christmas card, split front. If you've enjoyed today's card and you'd like the written tutorial for this, please head down below here to Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. There you'll find the written tutorial for this card. It will go live exactly the same time. If you've enjoyed this card, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. So if you're watching this down the track and you like this style of card, just look at the date on the video and the same date is on the YouTube video is the same date you will find the tutorial on my Facebook group. If you're not a member, please join. It's free to join. All you have to do is answer the question, and we love to have new members, so we look forward to having you there. And if you would like to know more about this product before it finishes at the end of December, please feel free to contact me so that I can help you with your purchase. And I will see you again next week. Bye for now.